Alright, so we're going to start with nothing on the face. I've just done my skincare. And I wanted to do this video here in my bathroom because this is pretty much how I get ready. And this is my pregnancy day-to-day makeup routine because I don't have a lot of energy. I'm tired. And I am trying to just kind of make myself look put together to feel a little bit better about myself. So this is the things that I do to kind of get started and feel better about myself throughout the day. So I'm going to start with primers. I have a few that I like to use, and I'm going to do a video just on primers so that I can share with you all of my favorite primers that I have been using for like kind of glowy skin. So the first one that I have is the Pores No More's Luminizer Primer from Dr. Brandt, and this one I've talked about before. It is one of my favorite ones to use for a very subtle, very natural glow. And then I also have the Becca First Light Priming Filter, the purple one. I do like this one for more of a brightening effect. There's several that I have, but I'm just going to kind of use the Becca one. And I'm going to take just a little bit on the back of my hand. This one is like a lilac kind of tint to it, as you can see. And it has a bit of a sheen to it, but it's not too bad. And it's been a while since I've used this Becca one because I used the Dr. Brandt's one. And I might even mix the two because you know what? Why not? And this is way too much, by the way. So I'm going to go on with the Dr. Brandt's one. This one comes out like a skin tone color. But when you blend it in, there is no like actual color to it. And it just gives the prettiest kind of glow. And you can use this one from Dr. Brandt on its own without needing to have foundation over the top or any makeup product. And it just makes your skin look so healthy, dewy, and radiant. And I have been enjoying the glow. Let me just tell you, my skin has been quite dry during my pregnancy, so I have been taking advantage of being able to get away with using dewy primers, more highlighter, liquid highlighting products, things like that that I'd have to be more controlled with when my skin is more combination oily. So primer, done. All right, so my next step is foundation, and I have been really enjoying the Physicians Formula. This is the Healthy Foundation. I have it in the shade LN3, and this is what it looks like if you are interested in finding it at your local drugstore. It's a very good foundation. I like the coverage that it provides. When I want some more coverage, I will mix it with my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. So I'll put these both in the description box and the colors that I wear in both of them. But I'm going to start with the Physicians Formula. I'm going to take the doe foot applicator and just kind of do some swipes in the back of my hand. And then apply this with my Morphe Beauty Sponge. All right, and then for concealer, I use the Too Faced Born This Way, the multi-use concealer. I have it in the shade Vanilla. And I just take a little bit of this, and I just kind of quickly just dot it under my eyes, like so. And I'm using my viewfinder and a small handheld mirror to do this. But then I take a small Real Techniques sponge that has been washed, and it is slightly damp. I use the pointed side. And then I start blending this in. If I want to take this extra step to cover up this scar from a blemish that I had, I'll just go in and pat it just a little bit to kind of diffuse the look of it. Not really using a whole lot, the tiniest little bit. This is an extra step. I'm just showing you if I were to do it, this is how I would do it. But I don't do this every single day. Once I apply the Physicians Formula foundation, I just go in with concealer under my eyes and then the next steps of my routine. Then to set everything, I use my number 7 translucent setting powder. This is the Perfect Light loose setting powder that I've talked about in previous videos, and it's my go-to. Comes with a little puff sponge that I don't use. I just take the product and I just kind of dump it into the cap. And I'd like to set my under eye area pretty quickly after I apply my concealer so that it doesn't crease. So I take the same sponge that's been still kind of damp, and I just lightly add a little bit, and I look up so that I don't get any creasing. And then I kind of just bounce the sponge around. And I don't use a whole lot because I don't want my under eye area to look too heavy and kind of crepey looking. And I also take a little bit on any little spot if I've concealed anything on my face. So I'm going to do some eyeshadow primer, and this is the Fenty Beauty one in the Pro Filter. This is in the shade Invisa Pink. I think there's only really one shade, and I just take a little bit. Get a little closer so you can see. Just a little bit like that. And what I actually do, instead of using my finger to blend it out, I use my damp sponge. So the Real Techniques has a pointed end and a flat side. So I use a flat end to bounce this around because this primer is a little bit tacky. So I just kind of bounce it around, make sure that all the way down to my lash line. And you can go with eyeshadow right over the top, but like I said, it has a little bit of a tacky feel, which works when you're using like pigments or when you really want a strong look to your eyeshadow as far as like pigmentation standing out. You can go directly on the top, but I like to set it because I don't do a lot of eyeshadow day to day. So I'm going to take some of my translucent powder on that flat side and just go right over the top. And this will ensure that whatever eyeshadow I do use, whether it's a light color or a dark color, that it's not going to stick in any particular area more so than the other. So now I'm going to do my bronzer, and I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush. This is a blush brush actually, but I do like it for bronzing, and I love the light pink handle. And I use my Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a Palette 5-minute face on the go. This is the smoky eye version of it because it has the black eyeshadow in it. And I use the bronzer, which you can actually get separate. It's the Film Star Bronze and Glow, I think it's what it's called. And I just take it on my brush. And I try to put it where I would normally kind of contour, and then blend it onto the apples of my cheek just to kind of slim out my face a little bit because I've gained 36 pounds thus far in my pregnancy, which is no big deal. But if you're wanting to slim out your face or just kind of slightly change the structure of your face, that's what contouring is all about, you can do it like this. And then I also take some and I pinch my brush and I go here through my eyelids. And when I have the time, like my old self, pre-pregnancy, I would, do everything just nice and slow and just take my time, but not happening now when I am due in just a few short weeks. And then of course with a newborn, I'm not going to have time to sit here and do everything very meticulous. It needs to be quick. All right, so now for brows, I have a brow video that I will link up in the card section of the video to show you my favorite brow products and kind of a demo of how I do my brows. But today I'm going to use my CoverGirl Rich Brown pencil. This is a very tiny pencil here that I love. And I'm going to do this and most likely finish off camera and then move back to finish the rest of the face. Alright, so brows are done, and I wanted to show you guys this liquid highlighter that I've been getting into a lot lately. And it's from Makeup Revolution. It's the liquid highlighter, and it comes in like a little glass bottle with a dropper, and I have the champagne version of it. And I shared this on Snapchat because I just start playing with makeup and I get mesmerized by the shimmer on this. So I'm going to take one drop. This stuff is so incredibly pigmented. You can put this very lightly all over your face if you like an intense dew and glow to the skin. Mix it in with foundation, mix it with your moisturizers, oils, or just do it like I do for highlighter. So I'm going to use my finger, and I take just, like I said, one drop, and this is still way too much. So I get the product on my middle finger, and then what I just do is I kind of tap it, and then I use two fingers, so my middle finger, my ring finger, to blend this in. And I've done this with nothing. I've also done it like I'm showing you right now, but I had to show you this because this product is only $9. It's so incredibly cheap, and it is beautiful. It gives such a pretty glow, and I like it because you can kind of control the level of glow that you have. Even though it's super dewy, And then I take some also here through the brow, just the tiniest little bit right through the brow. And then I also take some more and I go right around the temples, on the center of my nose. And I'm also going to take some on my Cupid's bow. Products is the CoverGirl's Cheekers blush in the shade, what is this? You think I know, Classic Pink. Classic Pink, and it's so pretty, and I think it's less than $4 at Walmart if you wanted to get it, and it's beautiful. So I use the Eco Tools Define brush for this, and I take a little bit of this blush, get it all on my brush, nice and even. And I do need a mirror for this because it's quite pigmented. So tapping off the excess, and I smile and I just add it right to the apples of my cheek, just for a nice kind of glow, and not like glow as in shimmer, but like where your skin just looks healthy and there's something kind of radiating some health and some nice vitality from the skin. I don't know how to describe it. But I do like this, and it's very easy to go overboard with that. So I only use the tiniest bit. I use some shades from the Channon Rose palette. This is in collaboration with IGXO Beauty. I did a video on this as well. She is a YouTuber, family vlogger, and I really like her and her husband. They have a daughter who's precious, and it's funny to watch their vlogs. The husband's funny, they're funny, and I like it. So definitely check them out if you're interested, or if you want something like this with the peach. And I'm using a Morphe E27 brush. So if I were to do eyeshadow, this is how I would do it. I'd take this color and just quickly go around my crease area in circular motions. So windshield wiper motions, and then buff it in circular motions to get this nice and blended so there aren't any harsh lines. And these colors are very, very pigmented, and I like this because it adds a little bit of warmth to the crease and some definition without it being too crazy. And because these are all matte, I will be using one of my CoverGirl eyeshadows in the shade Mink, which is kind of like a rose goldy bronze shade. It's beautiful. I've been using it every single day since I bought it, and I just cannot stop using it. So that's what I'm going to use today. Now, if I wanted a little bit more definition to my eyes, I will go in with the shade called Positivity, which is a very light tan. And I'll take my brush and just one time right in it, and I'll stamp this right on the outer edge and then kind of blend it in. And I'm using the same brush just to keep it simple and easy. Like I told you, it's not going to be very dramatic. This is truly what I do on most days. Sometimes I just skip the eyeshadow altogether, or I just do like a one shadow look. For the lower lash line, I'm going to take a smaller detail brush with that Positivity, so the light tan shade, just to create a little bit of definition here. All right, now for my lids, I'm going to use that CoverGirl eyeshadow because I just love it. And that's what it looks like. If my camera will focus. And it's shimmery and pretty. And I use a Sigma brush. I think this is the E25. And then I just load it up like so. And I feel like I need to re-glue this eyeshadow because it looks like it's going to fall out of the pan. So that's what it looks like. Tapping off the excess. And then I just swipe this all over my lid. And then with the edge of the brush, I kind of blend that into those colors. Not too far into the crease, but just enough so that there's not a gap. My Tarte liquid liner. These are the ones that are double-ended. So I'm going to tight line with the black. And then I'm going to do liquid liner, super thin line, the base of my lashes. Alright, so now the absolute final step is mascara. This is my go-to at the moment, the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. I talked about this in previous videos, and I actually want to go and repurchase another one. I have it in the shade Very Black. It's very similar to the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, the formula and the brush as well, which is probably why I like it, since the Lash Paradise is my favorite one. And I'm just going to apply 2 really good coats to my lashes. Alright, so I know this is not part of the video or wasn't intentionally part of the video, but I wanted to share with you guys my hair. As you guys can see, I've got lots of waves and curls in my hair, and this is like so cool because I'm like impressed because this is without any sort of heat whatsoever. So I washed my hair and I let it air dry pretty much, I would say 95% of the way, and when it was still slightly damp, what I did was I took the Ouai Wave Spray. Looks like this. You can get it at Sephora. I sprayed this all through my hair and I did a French braid. So I started my braid really high and then I did a French braid all the way down. Used an elastic like this, a really thin one, to keep it, and I did it quite tight as well. Then I went to bed and I did the beginning portion of the Get Ready With Me with my hair still in the French braid, and I just took it out and this is what it looks like. Now I think that this spray is what's making it look more like this than it usually does, because when I use just damp hair, French braid it, let it loose in the morning or the next day at some point, it's not quite as kind of spirally almost. I'm super impressed. And I hope it stays because this is really cute. And so I wanted to share with you guys because I thought that was quite neat to do kind of some wave without having to use any heat. So that is it. So this Get Ready With Me is officially done. We are ready for the day, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, getting to see my routine for day to day. This is what I do. A little extra with that liquid liner, but I do kind of tweak some things here and there as the days go, and depending on what my energy level is, as I'm in the very tail end of my pregnancy. So depending on my energy, I will kind of change some things and maybe skip some steps, but this is generally speaking what I would do if I was going to go out, go to dinner, out to run errands just to feel better about myself throughout the day. This is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending some of your day here with me today. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future, and you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.